Good morning, TK. Happy Fun Friday. I hope you all had a wonderful week and you're excited for the weekend ahead. Today, we are going to be finishing up with our story, Peter and the Wolf. This was a super fun and special story with instruments, and you guys have done a really great job with it. Today, we have our final objective. We're going to be working on telling the story. So let's go over our objective and go over what we're going to use to help us with it. Objective is what we are going to learn. I can retell the story Peter and the Wolf. So retell, that's a word that we have heard before. We used to retell our stories in class with our 5-finger retell. When we first learned about this was when we talked about characters and setting. Let's go ahead and remind ourselves about those rhymes, and then we'll dive into our 5-finger retell. So let's start with character. A character is who the story's about. Let's do it one more time all together. A character is who the story's about. And now let's do our setting song. Settings can be near or far. Settings tell you where you are. So if you remember way back when we were in class, we did a 5-finger retell with our story of Little Red Riding Hood. And we had our 5 fingers here, and each one of our fingers meant something different about the story. This is one way that we can retell our story. This is a strategy that we can use. We talked about strategies in math this week, but we can also have strategies in reading. Let's do our strategy song so that we can help kind of understand what we're talking about. Remember, our strategy song goes like this. A strategy's a tool that I can use. I can use. I can use. A strategy's a tool that I can use to help me learn. So if our 5-finger retell is our strategy, it's going to help us to retell the story of Peter and the Wolf. For our 5-finger retell, our thumb is our characters. Let's think about who the characters are in Peter and the Wolf. I remember Peter and his grandfather, the cat, the bird, the wolf, and the hunters. Our pointer finger is our setting. Remember, settings tell you where we are. So where did this story take place? Where were they in the story? I remember they were at the grandfather's house first, and then Peter went into the woods where he saw his friends, and then when the wolf came, that was also in the woods. So this story probably took place in the countryside in the woods. Now, our next 3 fingers, our middle finger, our ring finger, and our pinky finger, they tell us what happened first, next, and then. So let's think, what happened first in the story? First, Peter went out into the woods. Next, a wolf came into the woods. Then, Peter helped his friends to catch the wolf and took it to the zoo. So that was a really easy way to just use our 5 fingers to help retell the story of Peter and the Wolf, to tell somebody else the story. Another strategy that we could use is our little blocks here. You guys have Unifix cubes at home? We usually use these in math. We could also use them to help us tell a story. There are 3 cubes here. They're going to represent the 3 parts of our story. What happened first, what happened next, and then what happened. So like I just said, first, I'm going to take 1 block. This is going to be what happened first in the story. First, Peter went into the woods to see his friends. Next, a wolf came into the woods. And then, Peter helped his friends to catch the wolf and take it to the zoo. So see how we can also use our blocks to kind of quickly just talk about the 3 big events, the 3 big things that happened in the story. That's another quick way to retell the story. So these are 2 strategies that you can use. Your 5-finger retell or you can use your Unifix cubes to tell me the 3 major events of the story. Your job today is going to be to pick one of these strategies, either the 5-finger retell or your story blocks. That's what these are going to be called, our story blocks. And you're going to tell me the story of Peter and the Wolf. So you're going to take a video, either using your 5-finger retell or your story blocks, and retell the story of Peter and the Wolf like you're telling it to me. Pretend I don't know the story yet, so you have to tell it to me as if I've never heard it before. I'm really excited to watch your videos and hear about Peter and the Wolf and pretend I've never heard it before. Next week, we're going to have a new story, and it's actually going to be our last story in our Super Kids unit. So it's going to be our last Happily Ever After story, and after our last story, we're going to dive into writing. So I'm super excited, guys, and I hope you guys enjoy retelling Peter and the Wolf.